Hello, grade 6 students. This is day 3 STP Mathematics 1A lessons. Hope all of you have watched the previous videos. By any chance, if you have not watched, please pause this video and watch the previous videos. If you can remember that the first thing we should do today to discuss the homework sums. So then I will give you the answers and I will explain what to do and how to do here. So then these are the sums you want to do at home. So then how to add the column of numbers. So then we want to start with units. Please check whether you got the answers like this. Here, to save the time, I did the questions earlier. You know how to start. We want to start from the units column. When you take the units column, that you want to start from the bottom and see whether you got the answers like this. By any chance, if there is any difference, please double check your answers. Still that you get a different answers, please comment in the video itself. So these are the answers for the exercise 1B, the selected questions. Then I ask you to do that. You can pause the video and mark your answers. So I'm moving to the next part. Right. So then here what we need to do, that we want to do question number 21 to 25. And I'll show you that how we want to do the questions. So now here, when you have such a question, what you want to do, children, you go to the right side working column, you do the workings and add them and transfer the answer to the relevant place. So then you just see that I have done all the questions here. Please check whether you have got these answers. If not, please double check your answers. Still you get a different answers, you can comment in the video itself. So I'll slowly move, then all of you can see that what are the answers you have got, right? If need, you can pause the video and mark your answers. Always when you're marking your answers, please take the pink color pen and mark your answers. And let's say if your answer is wrong and you want to write something, don't write them in blue or black pen. You write the corrected answers in pink pen, because later when you turn your page, that let's say the whole page is in pink. So that means you have got wrong answers. The whole page is wrong. So you know that. Let's say that when you are marking that only the pink color ticks you have, you don't have anything in pink color that other than the ticks. So that means you have done it correctly. Let's say this time that you have written 5 sums in pink and tomorrow that you have written 2 sums in pink. That means you have improved. That means yesterday you have got 3 wrong answers, but today it is only 2. So likewise, you can see your own improvements when you are marking all the answers in pink, and whatever the suggested answers you can write in pink. So then it is kind of a self-evaluation that you can understand how you have improved with the time, right? Then I ask you to do the word problems, if you can remember. And yesterday I gave you the guidance how you want to do this. I ask you to do I ask you to do the question number 2 and 3. So then here, that the question number 1, can you remember that we want to get the cost of the baked beans, then the cost of loaf of bread, and the cost of can of cola. So then when you add everything together, 27 pence, 36 pence, and 26 pence, when you add them together, it gives us 89 pence. So if you go to the second question that you just see, and you can understand the way I have done this, and see I have written the sentences or the words, and then how I have used the equation marks, let's see how I have used the units, let's see everything. So how neat it is. When you're writing the answers, you also want to do the same thing. By any chance, if you have not done like this, and if you have just taken the answers, please copy down this and practice the word sums or the word problems like this. Whenever you have something like this, you read the question and you can have your own sentences. No need to have the same thing like your school teacher, that you can have your own thing, but who is marking your paper or the sum, he or she should be able to understand what you have mentioned. That here, that for an example, the sum 3, question number 3, we are talking about the students in the first year. In the first year, that we do have 3 classes, class 1, class 2, and class 3. And separately, I have written the students of class 1, students of class 2, and students of class 3. Altogether, I have 88 students in the first year. When you write the sentences and the answer like this, anyone can understand what you are talking about and they can imagine the question itself looking at the answer. So that means you have done a good job. If someone can understand the whole scenario looking at your answer here, that means you have done a good job because you have converted the question into an answer in an understandable way, right? So then that should be there when you are doing the word related problems, right? Here that you just see, there are 3 classes in the first day of the school. Yes, class 1, class 2, class 3. There are 3 classes, right? So then the next thing, one class has 29, the other class it is 31, the third class it is 28. Class 1, 29, class 2, 31, and class 3, 28. How many children are there in the first year of the school? Total students in the first year, right? So you just see that looking at the answer, anyone can imagine what we are talking about, what the question is talking about, right? Okay, so then we'll move to the today's theory part. When I say that we'll move to the today's theory part, what you want to do, children? You want to take your theory book and put the date, right? That is the first thing you should do. You take your theory book and put the date. Today it is August, 5th of August, 2025. So then you can write the date in blue color like this. And then what is the topic we are going to do today? It is subtraction of whole numbers. I don't think I want to give you, sorry, give you a note for this, but to complete the note, we will do a few examples so then your theory book is complete. So write down the subtopic, subtraction of whole numbers. So then here you write the subtopic in black color, subtraction of whole numbers, right? Subtraction of whole numbers. So then you write it, right? So then these are very easy ones that you can easily do that. If you have 15 and when you are taking away 4, what will be the answer? You have 15 apples and you are giving 4, you are sharing 4 with your friends. Now you have only 11 apples. Those things you have done in your lower grades. You have done enough questions to handle these kind of things. But without doing that, I'll just give you an example so then the note is complete now. So let's say that you have 15, 15 minus 4. So then the answer is 11, right? So that is the first example. By any chance, let's say they have given 17 minus 3 to this side horizontally. What I do, I subtract 17, 3 from 17, and I get the answer 14. And here I write the answer 14. So it is a very simple question which you have done in your lower grades. But that is not the thing I want to discuss with you today. Let's say you have something like this, right? Let's say you have something like this. So then here you want to understand that 1508 and minus 721. That means 721 subtract 721 is subtracted from 1508. What you are going to do? 8 minus 1, 7. From 0, can you deduct 2? No, you can't. You want to borrow 1 from the next door. That becomes 10. 10 minus 2, 8. The next door, now you don't have 5 because already you have borrowed something. Now they have only 4. From 4, You can't subtract 7, therefore you want to borrow from the next door. Now that becomes 14. From 14, when you deduct 7, it gives you 7. And when you look at the go to the other one, now you know that there is no number because it becomes 0 now, right? So from where again you want to start? You want to start with the unit columns, then do the tens column, then so on, that you can continue like that, right? If you have this kind of question, so this is what you want to do. You take your the blue pen and first you write down this. Below this question example, you can write down, start with the unit column, then do the tens column, and so on. If you can't do the subtraction, take 1 from the top number in the next column. This is worth 10 in the column on its right, right? So you want to write down this part. These are the steps of doing this subtraction. But when you're writing, you want to write it in 2 sentences. So then how you are going to write it? So first you write this sentence, this one, right? Then you want to write this one, the second one. You write them. First you write the first sentence, keep one rule, and you write the next one. So then you have 2 sentences here, right? So first you show the example, then you write that start with the units column, then do the tens column, and so on. That you keep a line, then start the next sentence. If you can't do the subtraction, take 1 from the top number in the next column. This is worth 10 in the column on its right. Always it takes now that the 4 here, the number 4 becomes 14. Here the 0 becomes 10, right? So then we know that how to borrow from the next door and do the subtraction. Please pause the video and copy down everything. Meantime that I'll move to the next part. Now you just see if you have something like this. You have the numbers to subtract, but they have given in the horizontal way. What you're supposed to do, children, you write it like this in the working column, right? So 316, you want to subtract from 642. So how we are going to do that? You want to subtract this 6 from 2. Can I do that? No, I can't do. Therefore, I borrow 1 from the next door. Now this 2 becomes 10. Sorry, 12. 12 minus 6, the answer is 6. So that is done. Now here, do I have 4? No, I don't have 4 here because already I have borrowed 1. So here I have 3. From 3, I deduct 1. It gives me 2. Now here I have 6. From 6, I deduct 3. It is 3. Right? So then that is 326. So that 326 you write here and conclude your answer. Okay, then you want to write down this example also. This box example, you no need to draw the boxes here, that when you are copying down, but that here I'm telling you the first you want to write this one, and then you write the 2 sentences, then you write down this box example, and then we'll move to the second box example here. You want to deduct 259 from 907. Now you just see, Pute, that when you are subtracting, that you want to subtract 9, look at this, you want to subtract 9 from where? You want to subtract 9 from 7. Can you do that? No, you can't. So you borrow one from here, that becomes 17 now. From 17, when you deduct 9, it gives you 8. Now, is it 9 now? No, now it is is it 0 now? No. It's what? It's 9 now, because that from this 10, this is the tens place now. So from this 10, you have taken 1, now you have only 9. From 9, you deduct 5, it gives me 4. And here, you don't have that. Why that becomes 8? Because that when you are borrowing 1, I will explain this again, that if you have any confusion, we want to deduct 9 from 7. Can we do that? No. Therefore, we are trying to borrow from the next door. The problem is the next door is a 0. So then you want to borrow from the next door, that is from 9. So when you borrow 1 from 9, that becomes 10. This 0 becomes 10. From 10, when I borrow here 1, this 10 become 9. And this 7 become 17. From 17, I deduct 9, it gives me 8. Now I don't have 10 or 0 here, I have 9 here. 9 subtract 5, it gives me 4. And here I can't find 9. Now I have 8 because already I have given that this number has given 1 to the others, the next door neighbors. So now here it is 8. From 8, when you deduct 2, it gives you 6. The answer is 648. So then you write the answer here, right? Hope it is clear that I don't want to explain any other examples. Hope all of you have understood it. So today's topic is subtraction, subtraction of whole numbers. When we are subtracting the simple numbers like this, it's easier for you to do that. You just do it, right? And if it is in the horizontal manner, you go to the working column and you write it vertically and do the subtraction and transfer the answer to the relevant place. Let's say you have the sums like this. So you want to start from the units column, then you do the tens column, then you do the 100 columns. Likewise, you are moving. But when you are doing this by column, so then if you come across with a situation where you can't subtract the lower number from the upper number, so then the upper number has to borrow 1 from the next door, right? This is what we discussed, right? So you want to borrow a number from the next door, right? So then I gave you 3 examples. All these 3 examples shows us straight away if you can subtract, you can subtract. For an example, here that 8 minus 1, 7. Straight away you can do that. But here you can't do that. From 2 you can't deduct 6. Therefore you borrow and this becomes 12. From 12 you deduct 6. So that becomes 6, right? So this is how you want to do it. And we will do a few sums. I don't think I should give these sums to do at home because these are very simple ones. If need, you can try them. But I'm not planning to give these numbers as the homework. If you have time and if you are really interested to do these, you can do these and practice. But I prefer to give these sums, that 9, 10, 11, 12, and these numbers. I'll mark it in black color. 21. So these ones. These 8 questions as the homework, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. 21, 22, 23. So mark these questions. Then 9 to 12 and 21 to 24, right? So from where I get this question, it's 1E, exercise 1E, right? Why I'm giving all these, the information, you know, when you are doing these sums in your exercise book, you want to put the date, you want to write the topic, the unit number, the topic, subtopic if there is, and page number, the exercise number, and the question numbers. When you write everything, so you should have all this information. Later, you can refer and do it easily, right? So then these are the things you want to do. And the next day, we will discuss how we are going to deal with the word problems when it comes to the subtraction. I hope all of you have an idea how this program works. Every day I explain the theory component and I'll give you the sums to do at home. And the next day, before starting the theory explanation, I discuss all the homework sums. Then I explain part of the theory, and based on that theory part, I will give you another 8 to 10 questions to do. So then the next day again, I start with the homework discussion. Then I explain the theory. This is how it works. So please share whatever the things we are doing here with your friends. When you share the knowledge, when you share that whatever the good resources you have with you, it is an added advantage for you to understand things properly. Now you might think that how, when I'm sharing things, that how it affects to me positively, because you're giving something to the others. When you're giving something to the others, when you're sharing the whatever the resources you have with you, your friends, so then automatically those good things come back to you in an unacceptable or unexpectable way, children. Right? So then we don't know that at which moment we are going to benefit it. Right? So then please take my word, believe me, you do the good things, that good come back to you in an unexpected manner. So share that whatever the things you learn with me, with your friends, and say that, hey, that did you go through this? I found this kind of video and that we get everything from the beginning. Why don't you go and try this? So you just share with them, and we'll continue tomorrow. And please do the homework, sums, and we'll discuss these and go to the next theory content. Okay, children, we'll meet again tomorrow. See you then. Bye. Take care.